Coming up this week, do you want to be well? Hello everyone and welcome to Sunday Spoilers. It's a chance for us to be able to prepare ourselves for this week's upcoming worship. Worship is an incredible time for us to be in God's presence, an incredible time for us to receive what God has to give to us, an incredible time for us to give thanks. The more prepared we are for that time, the more we think of it as a time not just to consume, but a time to be a part of something amazing, the more we'll be in tune with God, the more we'll be able to understand what God is saying to us, and the more we'll be able to take the steps that God leads us in. We are continuing in our summer series of What If Jesus Asked Me? Looking at the questions that Jesus asked throughout the Gospels, all 307 of them. We're not going to look at all 307 of them, but he asked 307 questions. It's a tactic, it's a strategy that Jesus used to help people engage with the topic that he's talking about, to wrestle with the question, to think about the question, to ponder the question. When we have to answer a question, we have to come up with an answer. We have to think about it. And it helps us to identify more about ourselves and more about what we think about a certain thing. So this week we're going to be looking at, do you want to be well? And on the surface, that seems like a very almost dumb kind of question. Of course we want to be well, right? I mean, we all strive to be well in life. We strive to have the best life possible. We don't want to not be well. When we're not well, it doesn't feel good. We don't feel good. We're not able to do the things that we want to do, the things that we're used to doing, the things that we enjoy doing. So of course we want to be well. But if you look at that question a little bit deeper and look at the text in the context of how he asked that question, I think there's some things there that maybe speak to us. There's some things there that maybe help us to understand the question of wellness and what it even means to be well. So the text we're going to be looking at this week is John 5, verses 1 through 9. Let's hear that together. Sometime later, Jesus went up to Jerusalem for one of the Jewish festivals. Now there is in Jerusalem near the Sheep Gate a pool, which in Aramaic is called Bethesda, and which is surrounded by 5 covered colonnades. Here a great number of disabled people used to lie, the blind, the lame, the paralyzed. One who was there had been an invalid for 38 years. When Jesus saw him lying there and learned that he had been in this condition for a long time, he asked him, "Do you want to get well?" "Sir," the invalid replied, "I have no one to help me into the pool when the water is stirred. While I am trying to get in, someone else goes down ahead of me." Then Jesus said to him, "Get up, pick up your mat, and walk." At once the man was cured. He picked up his mat and walked. The day on which this took place was a Sabbath. Now we're going to go in a little bit more in depth into some of the other variables that are inside this text, but one of the things that always jumps out to me is this man has been sick, an invalid, for 38 years. And all of a sudden someone asks him, "Do you want to be well?" And his response is excuses. He has reasons for why he can't get into the water. The water had this healing power. That was the tradition, that the water had this healing power, and he couldn't get there. He had reasons for why he couldn't get there. And that makes me wonder about, for us, when we say we want to be well, we want to live the life that Jesus has for us, do we have excuses? Do we have reasons for not doing a certain thing? Do we have reasons for not following in the footsteps of Jesus? Do we come up with rationales for why we don't do things? We want to be the disciple that God has made us to be. We want to be the person that God has made us to be. But do we really want that? Do we really want to be well? I think Jesus is about restoration. He's about restoring who he made us to be, who we were made to be from the very beginning, this loving creation that God has made. Sometimes we let other things get in the way of that. Sometimes we allow other things to prevent us from living life to its full potential, living life as children of God. So this Sunday we're going to dive in a little bit more into this idea of being well, diving a little bit more into what it means to be well and live a well life, and what it means to allow Jesus to show us what that is. Can't wait for this coming weekend. Can't wait for worship. Can't wait to see you there. Can't wait to find out how we can be well. Take care, everyone.